Brez coming in here soon. We got Trudell and Allie on the post-game interviews. There are nights in the league sometimes where you're a young team and you play so hard and you keep it close, but your opponent has a superstar, and that superstar is going to win every single night. Tonight, the guy's name was LeBron James, plays for the Lakers, and Fish, he beat Cleveland in the fourth quarter 21-17 by himself.
Well, he's used to carrying Cleveland. And so I think he just, he played and performed tonight. James talked about before the game too, right? His ability to recognize that he needs to do that, right, in order to win, that's what really separates him. Like, he came out with this type of intent, and I don't think he was going to keep his foot on the gas the way he had in the first quarter if the game did not get as close as it gotten. And then now, all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, the Lakers are in a tie ball game, and he says, you know what, let me go back to what I did in the first quarter and make sure we win this game.
I want that to trend on Twitter tonight. He's used to carrying Cleveland with quotes on it underneath Derek Fisher. Big Game James, hold your thoughts.
Yes, sir.
The King is speaking with Mike Trudell in Cleveland.
All right, LeBron, I got to ask you, how's that right hand feeling at the moment?
Feels good, especially when it results in a win. So, that's my job. That's what I want to do. And it's always feel great to get a win, especially in purple and gold.
Hey, you had it going from the beginning. Of course, you're there right near your hometown of Akron. As the shot keeps falling and you get to that point in the fourth quarter, what are you looking for from the defense, and where are you trying to get to?
Like I said, I want to just continue to build my game where I can beat them at all facets, from the perimeter, from the mid-range, from the low post. Just want to try to be that dominant where, I always keep the defense off balance, and I was able to do that tonight.
2012-13 is the last time that you were shooting this well from three. You're at 41% right now. Is there anything about the conception or the building in that spot, anything that's helping you shoot the ball this accurately?
No, I think it's just the work that I put in. Like, me out of the paint and forced me to shoot. So, if I want to continue to build my game and continue to be a complete player, I had to, figure out a way to shoot the basketball where I can extend the defense, and then it allows not only myself, but it helps our ball club. So, just always trying to, improve my game and keep an open mindset about how I can improve my game each year.
All right, and last thing for you, I know these are just different times during the pandemic when you get to go back to Cleveland. Not the same having the fans there, and I'm just thinking about the I Promise school and everything. Fun at least for those kids to get to watch on TV, on local TV, and how much do you think about them in this time and not quite being able to go that full yard to going to see them?
I think about them every single day. Every day I wear an I Promise rubber band. Every game I wear an I Promise rubber band. Is continue to just, remind me of my kids and my school, and continue to remind me of the responsibility that I have to continue to be a role model to them, continue to set great examples for them, and continue to, make them feel like they can be anything they want to be in life. And, we got some stars, some mega stars, some transcendent kids that's going to change the world, and they are going to come from my hometown. They're going to come from my school. So it's always great to be close to home. I got an opportunity to see my mom, got an opportunity to see my uncle yesterday. Just warmed my heart, even though it's a quick trip. But, anytime I could come back to home base and get settled in, it's a beautiful thing. So.
All right, LeBron, we appreciate the time. 46 points, 10 straight road win. Have a good one, guys.
Great interview there, Mike, talking about him, seeing his mom, seeing his uncle. Obviously, the hot hand tonight. Big game. I want to get your thoughts because we had to cut you off and get to LeBron. We run out of ways to talk about him, but it's just so fun on nights like this.
Yeah, I just wonder how long it's going to take the state of Ohio to name Akron LeBron, Ohio.
Yeah, it's time.
Some point. He owns that. But, yeah, I mean, the Pikes, he can go in the kitchen, he can do whatever needs to be done whenever it needs to be done. So he's an overseer. He knows how to train people. He knows how to coach. He knows how to do the job. And he did it tonight. He put on an outstanding show, going home, making sure that the Lakers didn't have a slip-up. Cleveland played really good.
Yes, they did.
And they outplayed the Lakers in a lot of categories, paint points, points off turnover and things of that nature. And they had opportunities. And had it not been for LeBron, they may have come up with a W because, AD didn't have his offensive game. He had some big block shots and scored when he had to. But That's why you pay for these type of brand players, Jordans, you know, the Leonards, you know, you pay for these, and this is what you expect, and we got it in Cleveland tonight.
Second straight homecoming. On Saturday night, we saw AD dominate in Chicago. We see LeBron do it in Cleveland. That's the beautiful thing about this team. Everyone on the squad recognizes that. They knew it was LeBron's night. He had 4 threes in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, he comes out dishing, gets everyone else a little bit involved. But every player on that team knew LeBron's night, and he's going to carry the load. And he did fish. But the efficiency is what is just mind-boggling when you look at it. 19 of 26, 7 of 11 from 3. Fisher's only been 3 games on this road trip. And by the way, the Lakers are now 10-0 on the road. Their best start ever. But he had 6 threes in one game and 7 in another. He's just finding new ways to blow us away.
Yeah, no, we talked about, you know, again, prior to the game, his, you know, as his game evolves, you know, what areas, you know, will we see him continue to grow into and expand? And when he's shooting the three-point shot at this level of efficiency, I mean, it exponentially shoots his points per game total up. And so when you start to think about the question of, you know, will he get to number 2? Will he get to number 1 on the all-time scoring list? Okay, you don't shoot 7 for 11 from 3 every night, but he is getting comfortable shooting threes, you know, into the high 30%, 40% range on an average basis.
Fish, I didn't want to interrupt you because I loved what you were saying, but I wanted that play that we just saw to have its own segment, basically. Big game. Hopefully Manny can roll that again, our director. It's LeBron James going up and making the most ridiculous block late in that game that they actually reviewed. They called it goaltending, and it went LeBron's way. So let's take another look at that, and you guys can kind of break this.
Yeah, no, I mean, at first glance, I thought it was goaltending.
Yeah, it was just fun. He blocked it in the stands. That was amazing. Yeah.
But the fact that I think Frank Vogel, the coaching staff, you know, they had the sight line, the basket on that end of the floor.
Point.
That was, to me, the difference in them feeling confident that they could challenge it and possibly win that call. And the debate around when to challenge and when not to is always going around. That was a great challenge.
Great challenge. The momentum with your team. By the way, 2-point game at that time, James.
Yeah, and you know, I was looking at the play. LeBron is good at allowing you to go to the rim. He was chopping his feet.
He sets you up, it looks like.
He was timing it. So he had a good angle as to know whether the ball is going up. Let's take a look at it again. You will see LeBron right on the weak side, so he knows the ball is going up. I don't think he's lost the challenge. I know he's asked for quite a few challenges, not a lot, but a couple over the season, and he's won. So he timed that perfectly, knew the ball was going up when he was going up for the block. He was a great defensive player. I'm
just bummed for Kuz. He's the only guy that didn't get to see it, but he can go onto Twitter.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Saw that brick wall.
Big game. I think you went coaching staff and you take your shot. Big move by the coaching staff. Frank Vogel right there. Overturned. Good.
Well, you know,
called by you, buddy.
Fish said it. You know, the time you only get one a game, I think. I think
the 10-0 on the road. LeBron James has 46, 19 of 26, 8 rebounds. We heard from LeBron earlier speaking with Mike Trudell. How about this? We're going back to Cleveland. We got Anthony Davis now. He's speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, AD, you had it going early in Chicago, and tonight LeBron seemed to be hot from the start. Just what did you see from him? And when he's hot like that, how do you adjust your game, if at all, on the offensive end?
Good. I mean, we get out the way. You know, he's at home. Like I said, I had to go in Chicago. I was at home. You know, he come back. You know, he's at home. He gets it going early. So that's what it is. I mean, when he's playing like that, it's fun to watch. You know, it's amazing to see the shots he make and the shots he take. You know, he's a hell of a player, great player, and you know everyone's cheering for him. He's back at home. So you know, we missed it last year, and so he get a chance to come back and score maybe 45, 46, or something like that. Back at home, so it's fun to watch. But I think for everyone else, we make shots for him to open the floor up. And when we made a couple of those shots, he was able to have the paint. He was able to have his jumper, you know, get to that line. He had whatever he wanted. And he carried us to the win tonight.
You know, if you're not having an efficient night or your typical night on offense, do you double down even that much more defensively? Or I guess you always bring it on D, right? But is that something that you think, hey, all right, I've got to make sure to contribute this way on this end?
Yeah. I mean, I pick it up more defensively. I try to offensive rebound, try to set good screens to get other guys open. I just try to do the other things that maybe don't show up on the box score. So, I try to find other ways to impact the game, and let the offensive side just come naturally.
Dave?
AD, LeBron had that block on Colin that was
Ridiculous.
the block after the challenge. There was the turnaround shot on the baseline. There was the logo three. Was there any moment in that kind of run he had that really stuck out to you, like, okay, he's really locked in, this is a special night for him?
He had 19 in the first, 17 in the first, or something like that. Oh, it's over. It's one of those nights for him. He was, getting to the basket. He was hitting his three. Getting to the mid-range, hitting his turnaround. So, he wasn't missing. He had a very efficient game. And then late in the game, like you say, hit, I think, 3 threes. Got to the basket, got the steal for the dunk. So he was everywhere on the floor, making shots from everywhere. And but after the first quarter, I knew it was going to be a good night for him.
Kyle?
Hey, D, I know you are sort of a perfectionist and probably are already thinking about next game, especially when it comes to your defense. What gave you guys the most problems that Cleveland was able to do? Was it the pace? Was it the rim pressure? Where was the biggest pressure for you guys?
I think they might be number one in the league in deflections and forcing turnovers, and we're kind of fed into that in the first half. They got a lot of deflections. We had a lot of good looks in that third quarter. We just missed a lot of wide open shots, but in their pace as well. They got a lot of young guys that play fast. Starting with Colin Sexton, who pushes the ball up the floor. And fine guys, and Osman, got hot from three, flying off pins, down screens and things like that. So, they're a young team. They play hard. They play fast. They get out in transition and they force turnovers. And we had a couple turnovers early that kind of got them going.
Dan?
AD, obviously LeBron did what LeBron did, but how important were those Kuzma offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter, and then like some of those Caruso deflections and steals? Seems like those plays when you guys were really sputtering kind of kept giving you a little life.
Yeah, big time plays. That's what Kuzma do. He crashed the offensive glass all the time, and I think he got 3 on the one possession and kicked it out to AC, and I think AC hits a 3. And he had one on the other end in the first half as well. AC, pressure on the ball. Colin drives to the basket. He gets a strip late in the game. And so all those plays are huge plays and momentum boosters for us, especially when we're kind of going back and forth with the team and we kind of were stagnant on 100 for a while. We didn't score. Our defense kind of kept us ahead and those big offensive rebounds by Kuz. So, 2 guys who don't get highlighted enough, but they do all the dirty work for us for sure.
We'll take 2 more. Bill Orm?
Hey, AD, in this year and a half you've played with LeBron, what have you learned about him and what separates him? I mean, you're universally considered a top 5 player in the league also, and all these other guys around the league. But what is it that you, in your opinion, separates him from some of the other superstars in the league and that he's able to go out and do the things he does?
I haven't played with any other the top guys in the league, so I don't know what the game on the team, studying their plays, what they like to run, at which point in the game, personnel, he's always watching film. He's watching film on us, how to get better. He kind of see things before they happen. And like I said, I can't say other top players do it because I'm not around him. I can't say that, but he's very professional. He wants to win, and being here in a year and a half, I see it every day.
Last question, Kari Jones.
What's happening, AD? As a player as a elite player like yourself, who does things that might not make the stat sheet, how beneficial is it for you to know that you're still impacting the game at a high level and your stats don't make the sheet?
Yeah, man, all I care about winning. We win, I'm fine. Like I say, Bron had it going tonight. I had it going to Chicago, and Bron kind of, was like, here, AD. And, I'm setting screens for him, get him open, get him the mismatches so he can go to work. That's what we do. We complement each other very well. And, neither one of us is jealous of the other guy. We try to find other ways to impact the game. Bron in Chicago was, talking on defense, getting deflections, getting out of transition, finding the right guys for open threes. And tonight I'm trying to do it on defensive end, rebounding, blocking shots, pressuring the guards, making them take tough shots at the rim, protecting the paint, setting screens for him to get him mismatches because he's at home. So, we just try to, and that's our entire team, to be honest. We try to, do things that don't score, that don't show up in the stat sheet to help us win. And, that's how we want to win. We got to be able to impact the game other than scoring. And I think everyone on this team can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mike Bresnahan is joining us now. I know you were really dialed in on Andre Drummond tonight, but were you doing a worthy clap right now?
Kind of a soft worthy clap there. Roll the shoulders.
Brez, in the pregame show, you talked and showed us a three-pointer and how good the Lakers are this year. How about LeBron James from three on this road trip alone?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like last season, guys, he showed us a new phase of his game. He said, you know what? I'm going to get a career high in assists. Not only did he do that, but he led the league in assists per game. This year, it's a three-point shooting. I mean, 7 for 11. And by the way, right now, he is shooting his best ever from three-point range. If you compare it to some of his previous seasons, up to date, 41.2%.
He went up a couple ticks, didn't he?
He went up a couple ticks. He came in at about 39%. When you go 7 for 11 behind the arc, that's going to happen. Just kind of adding to his game and listening to him talk to Mike Trudell, he said, just trying to keep an open mind about ways to improve in year, 17, 18?
Yeah, losing track right 13 now. Of 23 on this road trip alone.
Amazing, amazing. That's like a layup percentage.
Is that 2, 3, 4, 5?
I don't know. It's got to be AD, Caruso, Montrez.
Dudley. We need a Dudley interview soon. Lakers extend their road winning streak to 10 in a row to start the year. Frank Vogel, he's speaking with Mike in the media. Good times.
Hey, Frank, your thoughts on LeBron's game?
Pretty awesome. Just to see that he can still turn it up like that. Obviously, he wanted to win against his former team here, and came out of the gates really strong. A lot of defensive communication still, even though he had 46 points. Still quarterbacking our defense and really just carrying us down the stretch. Great defensive energy, but the shot making was just ridiculous, and just one of those nights for the ages for him.
Yeah, he's having one of the best shooting stretches of his career. There was one year, 12-13, where he was 40% from three. But have you noticed anything specifically on that end with the way that the shot looks, where he's getting it, and just the role of what the offense is?
Well, it's and we've been encouraging him to shoot over the top and to beat defenses because he shoots it at a high clip. Defenses are going to try to sag off and try to keep him out of the paint or whatever. This is sort of, if you're going to make a parallel, guys like MJ and Kobe went into the fadeaway jump shots out of the post a lot towards the later part of their careers. He's doing that as well, but he's also, bringing that ability to beat teams from deep in the modern NBA, which, is an acceptable part of this era of basketball. And, he shoots the heck out of it from that range. And, I don't really, if I'm playing against him, I'm not really sure what I'm doing to try to slow him down when he's shooting the ball that well from the perimeter.
Kyle?
Hey, Frank. Before the season, there's a lot of talk about the possibility that, you guys might find games to rest LeBron. And I think before the season, you were a little hesitant to commit to things. And then by the time the season started, you sort of said, well, we want to play him as long as he's ready to go. I'm wondering, even like early December, when you guys are just starting training camp, were you already pretty certain that LeBron would just play through it and just be able to go every night? Or how sure were you on what your approach would be?
Didn't know what to expect. He was going to have a green light and encouragement to manage his body early in the season based on how he was feeling. And, we were prepared to let him sit some games out from time to time. He hasn't needed it. He's felt really good and wanted to stay in there. And, we always give him the green light to stay in there too. So, it's going to be that type of, it was that way last year with our group. It will be this year throughout the whole course of the season, all the way through the 72, before that we get to the playoffs where, we trust him to manage his body with the communication with the medical team. Little bumps and bruises like the ankle that it can be sore from time to time for him. And, we just make these decisions on a game-by-game basis. But the plan A is for him to play. And then if there's a reason why he needs a game off, then then we'll give him a game off. But
you're in the pregame show, big game.
Don't back up, Brad. That's your shoot.
Look at Brez feeling confident. The young man out of Buckley High School, Wisconsin.
Hey, look,
grad.
Let me tell you something.
I played a little intramurals in Wisconsin.
Squares up here.
Yeah.
See, watch your left foot.
Played three-man basketball.
That is fundamentally correct right
with
there.
A peach basket.
Watch the left foot, square up, shoulder square. It knocks it down.
Brett, you played 8-man football and 3-man basketball.
3-on-3 hoops.
That wasn't bad, Brett.
By the way, big game. Little Jack Sikma right there.
I was impressed.
I'll take that. I'll take Sikma.
Jack Sikma.
Funny story, Lakers were concluding practice probably 10 years ago. I think you were on the team, Fish. And Phil comes over. He says, Brez, shoot a three-pointer. I'm like, huh?
Like his normal gear?
It's just like him and me. Everyone's kind of walking off. I'm like, all right. I'm wearing like a polo shirt and shorts in Miami or something in March. Shot it.
Knocked it down.
Made it. I was so happy. Phil's like, yeah, your form's not very good. And he just kind of walked off.
Even though you made the shot?
I made the shot. I was so happy with myself. He's like, yeah, no, you got to work on it.
Always playing games. You're still mental about that.
Completely.
Kyle Kuzma set a career high with 6 offensive rebounds. Big Game talked about that earlier. He's now speaking with Allie.
Kuz, you guys knew coming in the Cavs and certainly what they're capable of, the way they've been playing as of late. This was just a 3-point game late there in the fourth. What would you say was required of you guys defensively to get the job done?
I don't think it obviously we won the game because of defense and Brown hit some big shots, but we really won in the last quarter and a half with just energy. We picked our energy up. It was different than, the first quarter or 2 quarters and a half. And, we kind of just changed our energy and it changed the momentum of the game. And we got obviously more baskets on the offensive end because of it. And we made them turn the ball over all fourth. So.
Energy paired with more baskets on the offensive end is because a lot of you, obviously career high with your 6 offensive rebounds. You guys were out-rebounded as a team by 3. But Kuz, what's the key for you when you're facing a team that's got the size?
Footers sometimes. They play 2 true centers. They have arguably, one of the better rebounders in the history of the game with Drummond. Someone that, he lives on the glass. So, coming into this game, we knew that that was going to be a tall task for us, especially hurt us a little bit when Mark picked up 3 quick ones in the first quarter or second quarter, 1 of the 2. And, we just knew we had to fight. We had to fight. So.
Kuz, one final point from me. Obviously, you've played with Bron. You've experienced some of his zones. Big Game was just talking on the post-game show. It's hard to really put into words anymore because he continues to just rise. But being in Cleveland as a teammate of his and watching that kind of unfold the way it did for him tonight, what was that like?
The biggest thing, anytime we play one of our teammates' former teams, we don't want to let them down. We don't want to let them lose to that team. And historically in Brown's career, whether it's Miami or Cleveland that I've been around and witnessed. He doesn't like to lose to those teams that he's played for, and he just rises to the occasion.
Yeah, right. It's good stuff out there.
They do things that positively impact the game regardless of their stats.
Yeah, I mean, you see it in every sport, right? Not everybody can score the touchdowns or throw them or whatever, hit home runs. Like, you have to have guys on championship teams, and you both know this, James, guys that just play a role, right? Dirty work.
And I give Kuz a lot of credit for knowing that he has a lot of offensive power. But he's on a team that doesn't need it every night, to score. So he's like, well, how? And most guys struggle with this. Most guys struggle with, they try to figure out, I got to score, I got to show them I can score. But he said, no, I'm going to show them I can get rebounds, I can block shots. And he's becoming not a different player, but he's just adding on to what he already had, which something we didn't see. We never seen the rebounding. We never saw the block shots. We never saw the extra pass by Kuz. So now he's coming even more effective and more of a complete player.
He's trying to catch Drummond for the rebounding lead. That's what I'm picking up on. I mean, he's just all over the
rebounding
glass.
title.
Right.
To go back to what you guys were saying, when AD's getting all the shot attempts because he's hot in Chicago, LeBron's going to get his. Trez is getting some shot attempts. Kuz only shooting 4 times.
Yeah.
So you have to impact the game other ways.
For sure. And I think this is also an extension of the culture and the philosophy that Frank Vogel has brought to this Lakers team. Like, Kuz is finding out, these are the things that I do to stay on the floor for this coach, which are different than other coaches, right? And so he's realizing that, just like Alex Caruso, I might only score 4 points, but I'm still going to play 27, 28, maybe 30 minutes if I'm defending, if I'm rebounding, if I'm making the extra pass, turning good shots into great shots for my teammates. That's what wins. That's what Frank Vogel wants his team to do, and Kuz is stepping into it.
Yeah, and listen, these guys realize at some point it's really fun to win. And it's also hard to win. So these opportunities, these kind of teams, they don't come around all the time. And I think Kuz has realized that. And he's finding his role. And another guy, Brez, who thrives in his role no matter where he is, whether he's in a Clipper jersey or a Laker jersey, a Rockets jersey when he was a rookie, is Montrezl Harrell. Just finds ways to get it done, efficient around that rim.
Yeah, really fun to watch him. I mean, we saw him from afar a few times a year when he was with the Clippers. And you're like, all right, this guy's got some energy. He's got some bounce. But when you watch him night in and night out, he does so many things for this team. Not a big shot blocker. We've gone over that a couple times. That's not really his game. 6'7" center.